really common, even if you don't think you're breathing shallow, but oftentimes we are. So some of these cues I'm going to teach you, you can do at home on your own. It's nice to do when you're feeling like your anxiety levels are going up or your stress levels are increasing. It can also just be a really nice way to quiet your mind at night and help you fall asleep. Okay. So, Ramon, I want you to just first focus on just breathing regularly. You're not taking in deep breaths and exhaling. Right now it's just, what is your regular breathing pattern? I'm just going to place one hand on your chest and one on your belly here. Good, and I'll kind of let them know what I see. Good, you're breathing really nicely down into your belly. You're not letting your chest rise and fall too much, which is a good sign. And I'm just going to place my hands on your ribs. And right now I'm just assessing, I'm not trying to create, I'm just going to come underneath your ribs here. So what I look for is I want to make sure that they're not breathing all here shallowly through their chest. They're not engaging their neck muscles each time they inhale. That as they breathe in, their belly expands and decreases nicely. But really, it's what I'm looking at is I want you to use my hands now as a little bit of a cue here. And the next few cycles of breathing, I want you to really feel your ribs fall into my hands as you breathe in. Back into the table, good, and exhale. Now you don't have to draw in a deeper breath. This is really about using your nice regular breath pattern, but being aware of letting your ribs push back as well as forward. So almost the way a jellyfish expands in all three directions, all four directions. That's also what we want to see happening with your diaphragm as well here too. As you inhale and that diaphragm pushes out, pushes down, it pushes your ribs out in all directions. Okay. And what's really nice as a therapist, if you keep your hands here, you can actually feel their ribs push, and they can usually feel their ribs move against your hands as well. And continue. And I'm going to let my hands drop that space even more. And then as he exhales, drawing his ribs down. Just so the same way in the back as I did in the front. And now there's a really nice activation. Can you feel a difference there now? Good. And then I'm just going to check that by doing that, he didn't change his pattern through his chest or his belly. Because sometimes when you make an effort to change your breathing, you try too hard. And then you end up activating here. So when I told him that, you probably saw him change. He tried to breathe more, right? Instead it's quiet. It's really just about taking your focus here. Good. And his scalenes did kind of fire a little bit on that last time when he tried too hard, so I asked him to kind of keep calm it down. Okay. And then I want you to hold your hands on your ribs here. Be aware of how that feels to have your ribs expand. And you can also draw your own ribs down as you breathe in, draw them out. Good. And then I want you to come to one side here. If you can, you're just going to turn your fingers to your spine this way. Good. And just focus on expanding these in both directions. So open your eyes for just a second, Ramon. I want where your hands are, I want you to feel this happen. When you breathe in and breathe out. the bony structures should still be stacked on one another. Midsection weight, chances are it's going to create a hyperlordotic posture. And I have to take that into account. How is that going to impact your breathing? Right? Someone who is... And there's no room for self-defeating talk here. Your ribs are right where they need to be, and I can feel them just fine. Okay. Is that helpful? Yes. The other thing we can do, if that takes too much time, or you really just want to do a short exercise, is I can ask the client to place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, nice and low, right by your belly button, and then just relax your arms. Make sure you're not holding too much tension here. And I want you to just breathe in, down through here. Just kind of breathe past this space, just down into your belly. And we don't want this to rise and fall too much. If anything, this will just follow the action happening here. So if your belly rises, then your chest may rise a little bit. As your belly falls, your chest falls. And I want you to just be concentrating on that while I work on your legs.
That's good. That's good. It's dual. That's good.
It's another way to also quiet someone that's really chatty. I'd really love to talk with you.
Oh, good.
And sometimes talking is really useful during a session, but I find that it's distracting me from doing the best work I can do right now. So I'm going to ask you to let's quiet down for just a bit and focus on your breathing. And then after the session, we can talk about, how that helped.
Very nice. You know what? I'm
Tactful.
sure.
Yeah?
Yes. Usually I won't talk, even they just keep on talking. I just basically ignore it. And I think from the last experience that I had with a client, I think the chemistry kind of like she felt a little, you don't validate me kind of thing. And I learned from my experience, so I have to be very careful, just ignoring their questions, or even when someone says, "Oh my gosh, that feels good," I was just completely quiet. I didn't say thank you or anything. And then after the fact, I realized that's wrong.
Yeah, you want to be engaging, and because a client also wants to feel heard. I mean, most people want to feel as though they're being listened to and heard. Yeah, you don't have to validate. It's not about validating. It's really just about a communication.
Communication, right.
So if someone says, "Wow, that feels great," awesome, great, thank you.
Right. This is very helpful. This is the part where
Or you can say,
I learn ideas and how to communicate with people.
Or you can say too, like, "Yeah, this is one of my favorite techniques." If someone, I'm doing this, and they're like, "Wow, that feels so good."
Right.
I know, this is one of my favorites. I love the way this feels too.
That's nice. Yeah. That's nice.
But if someone is asking you to validate their pain, my breathing's really messed up, isn't it? I wouldn't say, yeah, totally. How are you still alive? Right. It's more, I might say, we all have room for improvement. Or, you do tend to breathe a little bit shallow, but it's nothing that we can't work on and fix and improve. And in fact, here's why it's maybe important to you. Here's what it might mean for this pain that you're chronically having.
How do you address when a person, again, going back with that structure where the person has more weight or a little weight on the belly side, and we go to a breathing exercise, it's a he, and he would actually breathe like right up here. How do you?
Well, that's everything we just addressed. That type of breathing is we call it, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll think of the word. But that is, again, that's engaging secondary muscles of respiration. Your diaphragm is your primary muscle of respiration or inspiration, I think. Right? And so by that, when you tell someone to take a deep breath, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is go, whoa, Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's quiet that down just a little bit. Here's what you just did. Okay, so that's good. That's great for like when you're gearing up for something, like a burst of energy. But when I tell you to take a deep breath, I want you to, let's maybe count it out at a count of like 4. And when I tell you to, I don't want you to gasp in or try to take in a ton of air right away. It's a slow inhale. Okay. So in that whole 4 count, you're inhaling, not for 1 second. Okay? And then I don't want to see it up here. I want this to stay nice and soft and the breath to come in here. So let's try that together. On a count of 4. Don't try so hard. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now exhale a little slower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. So, and actually, while I'm working, if you just keep repeating that in your mind, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, you may fall asleep. It's actually a really nice meditation because if you have to concentrate on just those words and numbers, you don't have time to concentrate on all the other problems going on in your life, right? So what I would do is look at what they're doing. That's a rapid, brisk, high inhalation. So I need to slow it down, spread it out, bring it down.
I wonder if it's a male thing too.
Possibly.
You know how males already want to be macho, so when they breathe, especially in front of ladies, they want to look sexy.
You know what? It's the same thing that it's the same thing we talked about with cramp relief. When I say push into me, people are gonna like think they have to like force it, right? Let's check your strength. If I were to say check your strength, and I say go ahead and pull your hand to your chest, you're gonna try really hard to do that. That's just a normal, natural reaction.
Okay.
I gotta show them what I'm made of. Is it a male versus female thing? I don't know. I see men and women both do the improper breathing. So it's possible, though. You never know.